near you for it. So today, the job in our lesson, we're going to try and answer this question. Who can read the question for me? Who can read the question for me? John, go on, Daddy.
Why do you think poets use rhyming words, repetition words, and describing words in their poems?
Beautifully read. Well done. Yes, absolutely. So today we're going to try and answer this question. Why do you think poets use rhyming words, repeating words, and describing words in their poems? Okay? In order to do that, we are going to learn the meaning of rhythm and imagery. Okay, we've already looked at imagery. We're going to know about how helpful it is to work together. We're going to be looking at all the different things that make poems poems. We call those features. And then we're going to look at our rhyme schemes. Okay? And we're going to be able to talk about text. We're going to be able to work with others in a group. We're going to be able to explore the different features of the text. And we're going to try and be detectives and spot the different rhyming patterns. Okay? So we're going to know all these things, and we're going to be able to do all these things in order to answer our question. Now, your first activity is to be a poet detective. Okay? I'm going to tell you which groups you are in. Okay? And your job is going to be to read this poem over here, which is on your table. That's the first job. You're going to read the poem. Your second job, once you've read the poem, you're going to investigate it. You're going to explore the poem. You're going to say, yes, Miss Amelie, how do I explore the poem? You're going to try and answer these questions. Who can read this question for me? Go on, Advik.
Can you find any rhymes and repetition words in this poem?
Fantastic. So that's our first question that we're going to investigate. Can we find any rhyming and repeating words in these poems? Okay, this is just one poem actually. And what's the second question? Asa, read it for me then.
Do they create any patterns? What do these patterns create in the poem?
Okay, so we're going to look at the rhyming and repeating words and see if they make any patterns. And you're going to be talking about this with the people in your group. Okay? Once we've done our investigation, we're going to come back to the carpet and we're going to share all the things that we've noticed. Question. Can we find any rhyming and repeating words? Fantastic. Can you say that a bit louder so that everybody hears you? Own and sown. Fantastic. Emma, what do you see?
What else?
Are they similar? Are they different?
I can see some other words that are repeating.
Oh, the first verse is similar. Fantastic. We're just taking a look at the stanza, the way it's laid out. Do they go?
What about
We have a little garden. 7 sounds. Let's try the second verse. You guys clap.
Garden and
Little garden is repeated. Fantastic. Have you noticed any rhymes here? Where are the rhymes? Fantastic. Anything else that you've noticed? How many verses do we have in each stanza?
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Fantastic. Do we have the same number? This is the name of the author. Do we have the same number of stanzas in each verses in each stanza? Fantastic. Could we say that is that a pattern that we've noticed? So what would we say?
got it.
But the stanzas have got what?
At the end.
The same number of?
Verses.
Fantastic. Well, I wonder how you got on with your investigation. Let's have a look at the first question. Can we find any rhyming? Let's start with the first one. Can we find any rhyming words in our poem? Amia, which rhyming words have we found?
Own, snow.
Own and sown. Fantastic. How do you know that they rhyme?
Because the endings are same.
Fantastic. The ending sound is the same. Any repeating words that we've noticed? Any repeating words that we've noticed? Advik B.
Garden and garden.
We do notice indeed garden. Garden. Now, is it just the garden?
No.
Or is it the whole verse? Or nearly the whole verse? What do we notice?
It's little
Oh,
garden.
without calling out, Miss Amelie can only hear one person at a time. John.
It's little garden and little garden.
Fantastic. Friends, have we noticed any other patterns in our poem? Any other patterns that aren't necessarily rhymes or repeating words? John.
Garden, garden.
Chris, your legs, please.
The stanza.
What about the stanzas?
The stanzas have the same number of words.
What does rhythm mean to you?
It's kind of like it repeats. Like in music, there's rhythm, and sometimes
And what repeats in the rhythm?
it's in the rhythm. It's kind of we have a little garden and we have a little garden.
Fantastic. The sounds repeat themselves. Ray, darling. Blossom there.
Six. I know.
What do we notice, friends? What do we notice? Advik B.
It's all it's like a pattern, like 7, 6, 5, 6, 7, 6.
Fantastic. So see, we have got the, what can we say? So we've got the same number of sounds in each stanza. So if we have that repeated sound, what do we have, Varvara? Like in music, what do we have?
We have rhythm.
We have rhythm. Fantastic. Okay. So what do we mean by rhythm? What do we mean by rhythm? Go on.
Rhythm is like when we clap, it's kind of like a rhythm, or a pattern is kind of does it again and again and again.
The pattern, the repeating pattern of what? Of?
Like sounds.
Fantastic. So we have a repeating, repeating
Amir and Asma.
pattern
Lucas.
of. I love how Sakajit is listening. Of sounds. Fantastic. So, we are going, now it is time for you to move on to your activity. In your groups, friends, listen very carefully. In your groups, you are going to have 3 poems. Okay? One poem is called A Spike of Green. The other one is called Spring Song. And the last one is called Bed Inside. The first thing you need to do is read the poems with your group. And then each of you is going to have this table. Now, in your table, you have got a row for each of the poems. For each poem, you need to find out if there is rhyme. You circle. If there is rhyme, you circle yes. And if there is rhyme, you need to write an example of the rhymes. If it's no, then you don't fill anything in. If there's repetition, same thing, you circle yes if there is some and show an example. No, if there isn't any repetition, and then you can't write an example. Rhythm, friends, just like we did now. See if you find a pattern of sounds, okay, inside your poem. And then, if you do have one, show an example. And this one is to refresh our memories of the learning that we did on Monday. If there's any imagery created, okay, you need to draw a little picture of what your poem makes you think of. And I'd like you to label your little picture with which words help us with our imagery. Who remembers which words help us with our imagery? Barbara?
House.
If I say the brown, describing words, and what's the proper name for describing words? Who remembers? Nitish?
Adjective.
Fantastic. Adjective.
Does it have rhyme?
For me, are you following Phil? Let's go. But this green spike, so you and she
Does it not?
had never
Yes.
yet been
Repetition.
Right, let's go.
Small
Stevie Gonzalez over here.
You see
Right,
small
names.
You need to
Does anybody want to write small and all?
Which way the S?
It's very easy. But let's see some
Right, rhymes. Have we spotted any rhymes, friends?
Well, hey, you have to. Oh yeah,
In our poem. Any rhymes?
So like listen for
What's right?
So if you spotted some, what do we circle?
No repetition.
So that's
Well done. Bean and seen. Which rhyme have you spotted, Ray? Bean and seen. Fantastic. So well done. Write it in. Green. It's written here. Good. Let's use our rhythm. We're doing repetition.
it shows how many was it?
Okay, you do it.
4,
Nine.
9,
Right. The rhythm, friends. Let's check the rhythm. Go. First verse. When
what
I went out. How many? 4. Let's see the next one. Let's go to the next one. The sun was. Oh, what's happening here? How many? Let's go to the next one. It shone on. What are we noticing? And let's see the last one. My flower.
So it starts like this. It's shown.
So what can we say here? What can we say here? Fantastic. All of the verses have got how many syllables? 4. So go on. Here again.
Does.
And I need you to
But
get
that's
a
not what we're
quick
doing now,
picture
right?
of what you imagine when you hear the code. Okay? When I went out, the sun was hot, it shone upon my flower pot. And there I saw a spike of green that no one else had ever seen. On other days, the things I see are mostly old.
When you read the poem, what does it make you think of? What do you see?
Okay, fantastic. Well done. So you need to write with me. Okay?
Green spike. So where do you see a green spike? So if you read the entire poem, what does it make you think of? I understand a green spike, but where is this green spike?
How are we getting on? Are we moving on to the next one?
Spring song.
Spring is coming, spring is coming, birdies building.
Is
Weave
coming.
together straw
I
and
already found it
feather,
right.
doing each your best.
Spring is coming. Spring is coming. I already found the repetition. Spring is coming.
What
Spring
about
is
we
coming.
are getting to the end of our lesson, and hopefully we are now ready to answer the question that we set out to answer. Okay? Your job is going to be the following. You need to write an answer to the question. You can work either independently or you can work with your group as you choose. So, here we have the question, Asa. Why do you think poets use rhyming words, repeating words, and describing words in their poems. Miss Amelie has started the sentence for you. I understand that. And you need to answer the question. So what is it that you understand? Okay, why do poets use rhyming words, repeating words, and describing words? You have got some of our big ideas that we've been exploring in this unit, such as rhyme, rhythm, repetition, adjectives, patterns, and imagery. These might be ideas that you want to use in your answer. But use the information with the work that you have been doing. It should help you to answer this question. And fantastic. You tell me.
Do you think that's the only reason why they repeat words, just to make the poem longer?
Okay, so what are we going to...
No, I mean, I see that it does make the poem a bit longer, but do you think that's the only reason why they So what other What is the poet trying to
Fantastic, I love it. Well done. So you need to write that sentence down.
John, can you read to me what you wrote?
If we don't do that,
in your, like repeating words and repeating the
Okay, friends, 2 more minutes.
If you use all the describing words,
Those words to create,
and
to create poems that have what?
it's new and it's small.
Poems that have
Does it help you to see a picture
And?
in your mind? When you hear all those
And?
words, it was new and small,
fantastic.
green. So when you read and start describing,
Oh my goodness, read that again for me. Go on.
Rhyming,
so what
adjectives, and imagery makes a poem a poem.
Who'd like to share their answer? Barbara, up you get. So, why do you think poets use rhyming words, repeating words, and describing words in their poems? Do you want me to hold it?
Rhyme,
I'll hold it like this.
rhyme, repetition, rhythm, adjectives, and imagery make a poem.
Fantastic. So Varvara, she understands that rhyme, repetition, rhythm, adjectives, and imagery make a poem a poem. Fantastic. John, would you like to come and share yours? You want to read it? Go on. Go on, read it out.
Which use repetition and rhyming and rhythm because it makes imagery in your head.
Love it. Well done. Super. Emma, what about you? Go on, read it.
I understand that poets use rhyming words and repeating words because it makes patterns and imagery.
Love it. Fantastic. What great answers, everybody. Super proud of all of you.